Hello, everybody. Welcome to my room. And it's been a while, but it's good to be back with you guys always. I appreciate it. Appreciate you following me. Spread the word, and I post my videos when I can, when time allows. So I appreciate you guys waiting. And again, it's good to be back with you guys. So breaking news. And it is exciting. But I want to discuss this, and I do have some issues here. One big issue, in my opinion. All the anthology stuff has been announced. The anthology is coming back. We are going to have a remaster of the first 3 volumes, Anthology 1, 2, and 3, and a new Anthology 4. There's some exciting stuff on that I looked at. That's going to be a 2-disc set as well. And you could take a look at all the content that's going to be on those discs. 1, 2, and 3 is the original albums there, but they're going to be remastered. In fact, I'm hoping what they do with this set will be similar to what they did with the Live at the BBC sets. Specifically, the sort of talking over intros of songs. A big example of that is Paul McCartney talking about My Bonnie over the intro to My Bonnie. That was a big gripe back in the day. George Martin defended it by saying he was trying to really create an audio documentary. Okay. But for those of us who wanted to hear the complete recording of My Bonnie, you missed that intro because Paul's talking over it. So stuff like that, I really hope they redo. I really hope they sort of edit, my name, look up my number to the complete 6.5 minutes. That's neither here nor there. I don't think they're going to do that. Some of the stuff that's on Anthology 4 is some of the best stuff from the deluxe box set editions. So some people are complaining about that, and that's very warranted. That is very warranted. I'm not so much concerned about the fact that we're not getting a Carnival of Light. I mean, I wish they would finally release it so people could stop asking for it. And, I'm one of those people who would love to hear it. And I am convinced it's been hyped up so much that Carnival of Light will probably be the most anticlimactic thing ever released by the Beatles. What I would like are some of the Magical Mystery Tour outtakes, like an actual legitimate recording of Shirley's Wild Accordion. And the privately recorded, I don't know how private it was, but Mark Lewison said it was private, the Jesse's Dream, which is the music that's being played during Aunt Jessie's Dream. Sounds like a freak out thing the Beatles did, which that I would like to hear. So Carnival of Light is not going to be on it. There's already talk about that. You know what? At this stage, just go and release the damn thing. It's going to be 15 minutes. We'll never get back, I think. But go and release it, Go and release it. So, in addition to the sets, I don't know if they're each going to be sold separately and then one big box, but supposedly there's going to be a big box with all of them together. New mix of Free as a Bird, which you can stream right now. And I streamed it. Oh my gosh. And this was a collab with Jeff Lynne and Giles Martin. So this was them working together, unlike Now and Then, which the original sessions were done by Jeff Lynne. The final thing was produced by Giles. But Jeff and Giles worked on the new mix for Free as a Bird. At least that's what I heard. And it sounds like John was in the studio with them in 1994. See, kids, there are good uses for AI. That's one of them. AI should be a tool. It shouldn't be done to take the creatives out of the picture. It should be used to enhance what the creatives can do. I said my say on that, and that'll be it. And we're going to get a reissue of the anthology book, which was originally supposed to be in '95, but they finally issued it in the 2000s. I already got 2 copies of that. I'm not going to need that, unless there's going to be some new stuff in it that's not in the other book, but I heard it's a reprint. Okay, big deal. And here's where we're going to get into my issue. The anthology series is coming back with an additional episode. It's going to be a 9-part series now. Streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. For crying out loud, no announcement of a physical. Will a physical be down the line? Who knows? They issued Let It Be in 23 or 24, but we finally got the issue of Let It Be. And still not a physical release of Let It Be. You got to stream it on Disney Plus. Now, Disney's physical media for DVD, for Blu-ray, DVD, and especially 4K, is now being done by Sony. Disney contracted with Sony, and Sony knocks it out of the park every time with their stuff. So they acknowledge that it's now a collector's market. And there's a lot more people getting back into physical media. The bottom line is, though, when it comes to the Beatles and the fans who buy this stuff, we are collectors. This is a collector's market. So to kind of ignore a physical release for the anthology, which the only version of the anthology we have physically is the DVD version that came out in 2003. And technology has since stepped up since that time, is, I think, wrong, and I think it's atrocious, and it really ticks me off. Who's behind this? Is it Apple? Is it Disney? Is it both of them? I already criticized Apple for giving Disney too much power for the Let It Be box set and the whole thing surrounding Get Back and Let It Be. Not talking about the actual documentary series that Peter Jackson did, but I'm talking about the way they handle things. Disney had a say in what content went into the box set, believe it or not. If they were going to put something in the box set, Disney had the right to object. That's why we never got the rooftop concert in the box set. They wanted people to watch it and stream it. It could be Apple. We never got a Blu-ray audio of the surround mixes of Revolver, the way we did Let It Be with the Dolby Atmos and the 5.1 mixes and the high-res mixes on Blu-ray. Same thing with Abbey Road, same thing with Sgt. Pepper, same thing with the White Album. We got Blu-rays with those. Revolver came out. Dolby Atmos mix was going to be on Apple Music and other streaming sites with the spatial audio. And, I love spatial audio. I love Dolby Atmos. I take out my AirPods Max. I put them on. I have a great time. And it's great when I'm listening to certain artists like Billie Eilish. Her last album sounds great with Dolby Atmos with spatial audio. Okay. So some of the finest things I heard with 2 ears. I'm still waiting for a physical for Revolver. And that wasn't Giles's part. That was Apple saying, no, this is going to be streaming only. But you're releasing a big, gigantic box set. So this could be an Apple decision. I don't know. When we wanted Let It Be, we wanted a physical copy of Let It Be. I'm glad it's on Disney Plus, and I'm glad the casual fan could watch it. But the diehards want a physical. The diehards want a physical for the anthology series too. We've been waiting for a physical for this. And when we are requesting stuff, this is not what we want. It's great it's going to be streaming, but I feel too much lately has been catered to the casual fan, hence Beatles 64, which I'm going to talk about that because in fairness to a lot of people who see my stuff, yes, I'm always like, let's not criticize stuff yet. Let's take a wait and see approach. Well, I've waited and seen, and I'm a bit disappointed. Actually, not a bit, massively disappointed in Apple with this stuff concerning them and Disney Plus. Beatles 64, that was made for the casual fan who wants to know. I've already got Beatles' first U.S. visit. I didn't need to see that, despite of my love of Martin Scorsese, who didn't direct it. 8 days a week, the touring years. Again, another thing that was good for the casual fan. It didn't tell me anything that I didn't already know. So too much is being made for the casual fan. So I'm glad the casual fan will be able to see the anthology series on Disney Plus. And it's great if they don't want to own it and they just want, if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, great. But Beatle fans want a physical release in a beautiful box. We've been waiting for this stuff and we're not getting it. Apple. Yes, who's ever in charge of Apple, I'm talking to you. I doubt you're going to hear my little spiel with my cult following of 900 plus followers who I love dearly. But no, we want a physical release of this stuff. We are collectors. This is a collector's market. Okay? This kind of reminds me of like several years ago, I think 2016, 2017, when Paul McCartney was issuing Flowers in the Dirt for his archive collection. And we got 2 discs of demos, the exact same demos, one done with Paul and Elvis Costello and one with the band. 3 discs, huge couple of books in there with a massive price. Now, all of the single mixes, like Figure of 8, that Bob Clearmountain did, and a lot of the B-sides and stuff like that were put for streaming or download only. You got a little download card to download them. And I think an MPL spokesperson said, Paul wants people to embrace new technology. Well, there's a backlash with streaming nowadays that is really taking over. People are tired of streaming. I mean, maybe not the average person, but there's a lot more people starting to go back to physical media, especially with how many streaming sites you got nowadays. And when it comes to the Beatles, when it comes to things like Let It Be, when it comes to things like the Anthology series, we want to physically own these. Because there may come a time when Apple and Disney part ways and they no longer have them on their site. Now, could this be because of the poor sales of Get Back? Well, I already said my thoughts on that a while ago. And if that's the case, that's on us as Beatle fans, because a lot of Beatle fans didn't support the physical release of Get Back. But I don't think that is, because I think a lot of the Beatle fans want a Blu-ray or 4K disc of Let It Be, and we definitely want that for the anthology. I think this is a missed opportunity, a very missed opportunity, and I think they need to come back around on this immediately. But I don't know. I don't make the decisions over there, and maybe I'm getting my blood pressure up here for no reason. But let me know what you think. Drop me a line here, and I really appreciate you sticking with me, and I will talk to you soon.